Welcome to the Way of Life Bootcamp Mindset Training Primer course. My name is Forrest Folan and I will be your guide. Did you know anxiety and depression are the most common mental illnesses in the US, affecting 55 million adults? That's 1 out of every 5 people. According to the Huffington Post, only 1 in 3 Americans say they are very happy with their lives. Did you also know that 92% of people give up before reaching their New Year's fitness goals? And 83% of adults don't join health clubs, although 92% say that exercise is critical to their health. Thinking styles, the way we look at things. Do you perhaps do any of these yourself? On the top right side, pressurizing. Hurry up, get it all done, do it right. Maybe a little bit of future gazing. You will fail, you'll mess it up, you'll never manage, you'll be brilliant if fill in the blank. Gazing at the past. I haven't, could have, I should have, last time, or it used to be a certain way, and why isn't it that way anymore? How about generalizing? You always, you never, or catastrophizing. If not successful, then it's going to be a huge catastrophe. It's going to be the end of the world. Awfulizing. I feel 100% awful. All right, so you have these states of mind, these states of being sometimes, these critical voices, negative self-talk, and we're going to get into why that could be really holding you back in your life. So do you choose to adopt a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? So a fixed mindset is someone who would be avoiding challenges, give up easily due to obstacles, see effort as it's fruitless, ignore useful feedback, be threatened by others' success. A growth mindset, on the other hand, embraces the challenge, persists despite obstacles, see effort as a path to mastery, learn from criticism, and be inspired by others' success. So a new mindset equals new results. If you stick with the same mindset that you've always had, you're always going to get the same results. That's just how it is. I didn't make up that rule, but through years of observation, self-study, the study of others, I've found that to be true. And during this presentation, you will see that mindset really is everything, attitude really is everything, and it all comes down to perspective and how we can change our own mindset to serve us rather than harm us. So to achieve something you have never achieved before, you must become something you have never been. Okay, a great quote by Les Brown. Okay, so read that one more time. To achieve something you have never achieved before, you must become someone you have never been. So how do you become that someone? That all comes down to, you guessed it, mindset. So we know that the answer isn't in more information, but having the right mindset to take action on the information available to us and becoming the type of person it takes to sustain it or even attract it in the first place. Wouldn't it be nice if there were a training system developed that would help you overcome negative thinking, inner fear, self-sabotage, and procrastination so that you could become free to take action and achieve all your life goals to be happier, lose weight, follow a life of purpose, and be able to live in a way that simply makes you feel good about your everyday life? Well, what if I told you we've already created it? And we've been perfecting it over the last 15 years. And it's available to you right now. We'll get into the details in a second, but first, where are we failing? In terms of fitness, if we look at that aspect, it isn't the lack of gyms. There's approximately 75 or more million Americans with fitness memberships in 2016, as compared with 41.3 million in 2005. So we know that the memberships of gyms have gone up and up and up. However, in 1970, the obesity rate in America was at 15%. Today, in 2016, we're at 35% and rising. And there are over 283,000 diet books in print Yet we keep getting more unhealthy each year. Where are we failing? Albert Einstein said this: no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. We need to look outside of ourselves often to find a level of thinking that maybe somebody had done something, succeeded before us, or there had been a better way. So that way that level of thinking can come in and elevate us to a new place. Here's the real problem: the story of the overweight, stressed out nurse with high blood pressure who smokes. This is definitely a problem. So what gives, right? This nurse here, she knows health. She understands that smoking is bad for her. She knows that 9 out of every 11 people in the hospital are there because of a stress-related illness. She knows this, but she's still doing it. She's still taking those types of actions. She's still participating in that type of self-destructive behavior. So why, right? And we all fall into this. We all know what to do, but why don't we do what we know? And that's going to be the underlying theme in terms of mindset is, starting to be able to take on the habits that serve us instead of the habits that harm us. Because we know what's right for us, but we aren't in the right mindset to attain that. So maybe this is you. Do you have a pattern of, good intentions? You want to enjoy life, right? So do we all. We want to have fun, feel good, be with the people we love, enjoy our work, enjoy our time off. But we have an underlying stress. This underlying stress that accumulates and accumulates, and it gets more and more until it snaps at some point. And as far as nutrition is concerned, your health, you might go into an emotional eating at that point because that kind of covers up some of the emotions that you're feeling. And it could be easier to eat some tasty food than it is to have to deal with those emotions. And we don't do this on purpose, but it's kind of a subconscious thing that we do. And then that leads to us being overweight, leads to shame, leads to guilt. We get angry about it. We get fearful of our health and fearful of the people that might be thinking a certain way about us and the way we think about ourselves. So then we go into exercise in a fear-based mentality, and we diet in a fear-based mentality. This is why people go into diet pills. This is why people go into quick fix solutions that lead to a dead end or a rebound effect or yo-yo dieting. They end up failing. And then this repeats, right? It repeats. It goes over and over again. So that's what we want to avoid. Is that you right now? Ask yourself that honestly. If you want to have more, you have to become more. Success is not something you pursue. What you pursue will elude you. It will elude you. It can be like trying to chase butterflies. Success is something you attract by the person you become. For things to improve, you have to improve. For things to get better, you have to get better. For things to change, you have to change. When you change, everything changes for you, said master strength coach Jim Rohn. Transformation coaches, speakers, authors, podcasters, bloggers on fitness from the body, mind, spirit perspective. That's us. My name is Forrest Folan, there on the right. And there's my good friend and business partner, Anthony Steele, on the left. And this is, what we do. We do fitness, we do mindset training, we do transformation. We have a body, mind, spirit perspective in everything that we do. And just so you know who you're learning this from, I'll briefly, without taking up too much time, get into some of our background. We are the owners of Way of Life Bootcamp. We've helped our community lose well over 10,000 pounds of fat. We're serving clients in over 9 countries around the world. Now it's more like 13. Best weight loss 3 years running in Oceanside, California. And over 42 5-star Yelp reviews. We're also featured on the Oprah Winfrey and Deepak Chopra newsletter, where they blasted us out to over 1 million people, and we are so honored to be a part of that. It was just amazing, but it's because we had the approach of using meditation, mindset training, not just focusing on the body, but focusing on the whole body, mind, spirit connection, and Oprah and Deepak Chopra's team acknowledged that, and that's why they had us as part of their newsletter. But we were not always the fitness guys. You see Anthony right here, he was over 300 pounds. Not to say that weight loss automatically leads to a depression, but he himself was in a depressed state of being. He was getting involved in a toxic mindset, hanging around toxic people, drugs and alcohol, fast foods, like he says, carne asada burritos. And it led to a depression that was so severe, not to mention that he witnessed, losing his mother, or he endured losing his mother to cancer, unfortunately, which was all very hard on him. But he himself, will let you know that he didn't take responsibility for his life. And he was ready to actually take his own life at one point. Luckily for us, he didn't. He turned things around, going to fitness, going to nutrition, mindset, faith, just trusting in different mentors that had surrounded him and trusting in a certain process that he was involved with. It transformed him. And he became the man you see on the right, and an amazing coach. He's a master transformation coach. He lost over 100 pounds. He's been serving people all over the world, from athletes to stay-at-home moms to doctors, lawyers, and everybody in between. So, Anthony Steele, what a success story, right? Who took himself from somebody who was ready to end it all and turned it all around. So if he can do that, you can too. And myself, I basically what I call it is I used to live in the shadows. I used to live a life where I just wanted to be safe. I used to hide away and shrink away. Have you ever had that feeling where you just kind of shrink away? You don't want to be seen. I had a body image problem. I think that, I had a misconception of what my body really looked like to others. And because of that, I always felt depressed, insecure. I definitely, followed the wrong crowd, I guess you could say. And I got into drugs and alcohol starting at age 12 and 13 and 14. It got worse and worse, and was very lonely, very isolated. And I pushed away my loved ones. And I was sick and tired of myself at that point, and I hit a rock bottom. And on my rock bottom, I was homeless for a time, not living in a cardboard box or anything like that, but I was knocking on friends' doors, living out of my backpack, and living out off of their couches for a while. And then one night, I remember it very clearly, I was shuffling down the street. I remember, looking up at the drizzly night sky, and I was underneath a yellow street lamp, and my grandmother pulled up in her burgundy car and rolled down her passenger side window, and she peered over her thick glasses, and she looked at me, and she said, "Forrest, take care of your body. If you take care of your body's going to take care of your mind, and then your mind is going to take care of your life." And with that, she just drove on. She didn't offer me a ride. She didn't say anything more than that. And it was just the simple grandmother blueprint that I needed to hear at that time in my life. And we aren't always ready to hear the different wisdoms that are around us all the time, correct? But I was ready to hear that for whatever reason. It resonated deep, deep within me, and it just rang out like a bell from my deepest self. And we don't change overnight. We don't change with the snap of the fingers or a blink of an eye, but sometimes a turning point comes in, and we shift in that turning point, and then we start and undergo a process. And I'm hoping that this can be that turning point for you. And I was able to take my grandmother's blueprint of body, mind, and life and really put that into practice. I started eating right, fresh fruits and vegetables. I started to pay attention to what was going in my mind, watching less TV and less video games, and started to read books on self-development. And I started fitness training, and I got into martial arts training. And with martial arts, you're surrounding yourself with people that are positive-minded, that are focused on a body, mind, spirit type of training. So I'm getting stronger, I'm developing myself, and all that led me to a process of self-discovery. I started to work with my martial arts master in meditation, and meditation, non-religious type of meditation, helped me unravel a lot of the workings that were going on in my own mind, a lot of the negative beliefs I had about myself and what was possible for me. So that's where a lot of this the background of a lot of this training comes from. So since then, I've been able to stay on track, and that's my hope for you. So things have changed a lot. You know, we have a huge community locally and globally now that we're a part of, and you know, we're able to live our passion every day. And the goal is becoming the lighthouse. And becoming the lighthouse, what does the lighthouse do? You know, becoming the lighthouse to me means that you become that solid structure at the edge of the shoreline where you can now shine light out into the darkness, out through the fog, and reach out to others and empower others and guide others back onto shore. And that's why I do what I do, is I see myself in that way. Not because I set out to become some kind of a leader in fitness or leader in mindset development, but because I couldn't not do what I'm doing now, if that makes sense. I couldn't not do this because of the way that my life had so greatly been impacted. Total 180-degree turnaround, you know, gone from, you know, drugs and alcohol, bad foods, bad thoughts, toxic mindset, depression, to, you know, a martial arts second-degree black belt, business owner, successful family, proud father of 3, happily married, you know, all these things came from my journey in my mindset development, my mind, body, spirit transformation. So think about, you know, giver versus a taker. People that are takers in life are the people that don't have anything to give because they're spiritually bankrupt or mentally, emotionally bankrupt. And so they become takers. If you've ever been around somebody that just felt like an energy vampire, they started pulling energy from you just in a conversation. And I've been that energy vampire before in my life, unknowingly. And so when you become full in terms of you're full in spirit, you're full in health, you're vibrant, and you're magnetic in terms of your energy, then you become a giver. Just automatically you become a giver. So think about, what kind of person do you admire? Who have you come across in your life that just astounded you in the way that they were a giver, in the energy that they had when they walked into the room, the way they made you feel? Did you ever have a teacher or a friend or just somebody from the neighborhood, I don't know, a relative that just really lit you up just because of the way they made you feel? You knew that they were just an awesome person. That's the type of person that you might want to become. And something about darkness is that it can't survive in light, but a light can shine in the dark. And that's what we want for you. We want you to be that light. So that's the goal, is to be the lighthouse. So here's the problem. We've got one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, right? Or who drives a car that way? It just doesn't work. If you're trying to accelerate and you got your other foot on the brake, you're going to be the crazy, erratic driver on the road. And a lot of us live our lives this way. Why? Why do we do this? Well, it has to do a lot with our past conditioning, our fear of failure, our story that's in our mind, our negative experiences, our defense mechanisms that we've created, our fear of success or failure, but even success, limiting self-beliefs, different addictions that we have. Maybe it could be so many different addictions, from television to Facebook to work to sex to drugs, alcohol, food. Even negative thoughts can become addicting. So, and then thoughts and habits that don't serve us, our environment, our ants, our automatic negative thoughts. All these things are the reasons why we have one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. And we don't want to do that anymore. We want to take, when we want to accelerate in life, we want to take our foot off the brake. This all comes down to mindset. So are you with me? Let's make the change. Let's take this exit on this journey, on this road. This was my martial arts master. He was a great man all the way around. Such a giver. Just so full of compassion, so real. He was very real. He wasn't a like goody two shoes, I have to be perfect kind of person. He was I am compassionate, and he was the type of person that set his life out to help others. And he has an interesting story. He was suffering from dyslexia as a child. If you're not sure what dyslexia is, it's when you see and you read backwards. and it jumbles everything up. And he was from a very intellectual family, so you can understand that was super frustrating for him, to the point where he had to solve this problem, or else, his whole life kind of depended on it. And he had tried every Western method in the book, every types of therapy that you can imagine, to the point where he knew more than the therapists that he would go see. Until one day, I guess, like they say, when the student is ready, the master will appear. He had come across a meditation master, and the meditation master showed him some basic techniques that would help clear his mind and clear his thought process. And you know what? It started to work. He started to be able to read things the way you should see them, instead of the way his mind was jumbling it up. And so he continued to learn more each time he visited this master, and eventually it brought him into a path of self-discovery, because he learned so much more than just about his dyslexia. He actually went in and trained in the temple for a time, and he went and he became a 5th degree Taoist master. And he never came out saying, I'm this Zen master, I'm this Taoist master, I'm going to teach you about these different types of religion. He actually says, no, I stripped all the religion away. I'm going to teach you what I know in terms of a self-development perspective. And I love that about him. And that's why I resonated so good, because, I believe that, self-development shouldn't rely on your religious point of view. It should be, your religious point of view is your religious point of view. And that's our approach too, is like, we don't teach spirituality, belief system, doctrine, or dogma. We just give a perspective that helps peel away the layers, where you can find out things for yourself and come to your own conclusions. And then you can work that back into your life however you see fit. So this was my approach of my martial arts master, Sabanam Daniel Johnson of the Self Mastery Foundation. And that's the approach that we take at the Way of Life training as well. And so long story short, he not only cured his dyslexia, but he became a writer and a computer programmer. And people with dyslexia do not become computer programmers, HTML coders. It just doesn't happen. His brain was totally rewired for success at that point. So what an amazing guy. We're also drawing a lot of our training from the Mindset Performance Institute. And this way, our mindset coaching is backed by science. It's backed by the works of Brian Grasso, Kerry Campbell, and Dr. Mike T. Nelson of the Mindset Performance Institute. Those are the founders, and we're constantly, working inside of their realm, their space, working closely with Brian Grasso in developing mindset training and working with him, being coached by him, mentored by him. So I'm constantly learning, and I'm in a worldwide, rather as Way of Life Bootcamp and the Way of Life Mindset Training, we're in a worldwide network of people that from all over the world, from South Africa to New Zealand, Australia, Japan, America, Canada, South America, all over the world are the Mindset Performance Institute coaches. So we're really proud and thankful to be a part of the world's leading resource for mindset, achievement, and success education. Very cool stuff. So this picture of you see these guys rowing. They're rowing on their way to success, and that's you. But what happens if you're rowing so hard, but you're not getting anywhere? Your boat is literally just stopped. And the harder you row, the worse things get, because you realize you're not going anywhere. And despite the people yelling from the shore, "You can do it! Come on, you got this!" You know what I mean? Just believe in yourself. Just take the journey inward. All these different things that we hear. What if you turned around and you looked back and you saw that your boat was tied to the dock by a rope? What would you do? Would you row harder? Would you just get more furious and row to no avail? No, you'd turn around and you'd cut the rope, or you'd untie the rope. And that's what this mindset training is all about. It's about releasing from the rope that's holding you back, releasing from the layers that we've been accumulating over the course of our lives, not by going into the past and rehashing and digging all that stuff up, but by dealing with the layers in the present. And we'll get more into that. So it's not about adding things on, it's about peeling layers away. That's why the Way of Life mindset training system is unlike anything you've ever done before. Is any of this happening to you? You keep self-sabotaging in food, exercise, inconsistent maybe. You've got SOS, which is that shiny object syndrome, where you keep chasing all these different possible solutions, but none of them really work. Or something with your mindset is just not correct. Maybe you keep getting frustrated by going one step forward and then taking one step or even two steps back. I've done that a lot in my life myself, where you're gaining some forward momentum, but then all of a sudden you take a step back. Why do we do that? Or you know what to do, but you just don't do it. Like the story of the nurse that we talked about earlier. Maybe you keep beating yourself up by making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And what is that? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So to be sane, we have to start changing things up. Maybe for you, it sometimes seems as though the world has conspired against you. I definitely had a close friend who was always saying, why me? Why does this keep happening to me? And, haven't we all felt that way at one time or another? Maybe you have deep-rooted fears, doubts, and anxieties that are holding you back. And these are so debilitating that you can't do anything. You maybe feel like you want to just stay in bed the whole day because you've got that deep-rooted fear and anxiety holding you back. And maybe you're starting to feel like success is for other people. And I've definitely felt that way in my life before. Looking at people in business suits, for example, and saying, I'll never be that. That's not me. I'm the guy with the backwards hat and the ripped jeans, and the skateboard or whatever it may be. But that image of success is not me. Now I define my own image of success these days. But have you ever felt like that? Like success is for other people? So why Way of Life Bootcamp Mindset Training System? The old fitness paradigm, fitness is an image. So if you're thinking that fitness is an image, it's about a look, we have a different approach. We feel that fitness is a holistic model. It's a path. It's a way of life. And it incorporates all these things: mindset, body, nutrition, how you live, the quality of your life. Mindset training produces real results that last. Yes, when you change your mindset and you do it enough, you have the habitual changes that occur for the long haul. And they stay with you forever. And you readapt your self-image, how you see yourself. The person you become changes, and then the things in your life change. And then open doors of unlimited possibilities, from fitness to other areas of life, things in your social life, your financial, I like to call it your financial fitness, right? Your career, your relationships, your spirituality, health, family, etc. All these things open doors, starting with, taking care of yourself. So adding on versus peeling away, it's like layers of the onion. We're peeling away these layers. Lack of information is not the problem. We live in the most informed age. Internet's at our fingertips. We have all the information we ever need, but people are more and more confused, lacking clarity, more fearful. Lack of information is not the problem. It really is the application. So knowledge is nothing without intention and application. So intention is you're intending to use that knowledge in a certain way and applying it, actually making things happen by application. So what the Way of Life Mindset Training System is not. This system is not voodoo, crystal ball, hocus pocus, woo-woo stuff. Okay, it's not any of that. It's not religious. This can fit into any worldview, religious view, or belief system. We don't define anything for anybody. That's up to you and there's enough people in your life trying to define things for you. We're the one, group or system or coaching, mentors, whatever you want to call it, that, we're not concerned with defining anything for you. We're not concerned with giving you any beliefs. Maybe that's your thing. If it is your thing, then, maybe you're not in the right place. But if you're looking to gain a new perspective and to be able to have actual actionable tools to be able to change your life, then you are in the right place. This is not a dogmatic teaching. It's more of will guide you through And you create your own conclusions. You create your own life based on the tools, the guidance, and the experiences that we help bring you through. And this is not weak, unpractical, or passive. So it's very strong. It's very empowered. And on the contrary, it's extremely practical. This is the most practical thing you could ever do. The results can be very tangible. Things like weight loss, things like even material wealth. If you want to have the house, the car, the career, create the certain family or relationships with others. All this stuff is very tangible. So what the Way of Life mindset training is, it's a powerful system that creates inevitable and lasting change. Keyword or key phrase there is lasting change. So we don't want to do anything that's just for the short term. We want to do things that last. The Way of Life Bootcamp Mindset Training System is a system that will create fast and lasting body, mind, spirit transformation. The Way of Life Mindset Training is a system of trainings and life tools that will serve you in all areas of your life. So what is a body, mind, spirit transformation? A transformation that starts with the body and moves into the mind and the spirit. So we do like to get the body moving and you eating right. That's a foundation. Sleep, eat, hydrate. These are foundational things. And then we can work on the mindset during that course. And then your whole spirit, your underlying emotional, mental state changes. Positive and lasting change. So we're not looking to make you a goody two-shoes or to make you, be positive thinking. Hey, you have to have your glass half full all the time. No, that's not it at all. Really what you're doing is you're creating, the positivity comes from your outlook, not because you're trying to be a goody two-shoes. It comes from your compassion. It comes from your compassion to love yourself and to love others and help others, and while helping yourself. So that's where the positivity comes from. It doesn't mean you can never use a swear word. If you swear, then swear. If you don't swear, then don't swear. Your moral compass is your moral compass. But, to try to be positive just for positive's sake, no. We are looking for that inner happiness, that inner joy that automatically changes who you are, where you become that person that you want to become. And then you're happy because you've released from all the reasons why you can't be happy. Does that make sense? Maybe not yet, but if you're getting more questions, that's a good thing, because I'll tell you, when I went through this process, it created a lot of questions, and the people that have the most questions are the most successful in life when you ask the right questions. So an opening of possibilities within one's life. The possibilities are endless, really. The possibilities are literally endless for what you can achieve. Was it Napoleon Hill that said, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve? So the possibilities just really will open up. A life of abundance, freedom, confidence, authenticity, being who you really are, truly. Not who you think you might be or what others see you as, but who you are, and to be able to express yourself in that way. And unlimited possibilities, the unlocking of your potential. So considerations. Like I had said before, the word spirit is open to your interpretation. There's no dogma, doctrine, or ideology here. Anyone can be successful with the application of the Way of Life Bootcamp Mindset Training System. Open-minded skepticism is both healthy and preferred. I'd rather you be skeptical. Don't believe anything I say or anything that anyone else says. You let yourself be skeptical, but open-minded skepticism means that you're willing to try things and then come to a conclusion yourself. Try things before you judge. And that's hard to do sometimes. We oftentimes, especially if we're past skepticism and into cynicism, we can get into that frame of mind where we're constantly shooting things down even before we give it a chance. So for you to be able to, come away with anything, even if you just gain a couple gold nuggets from this, you have to be willing to be open-minded enough to try it and to suspend judgment, and then see about okay, this works for me. I can incorporate this into my life. This feels good with me. And so you got to give yourself time for that, though. And so skepticism is very healthy, and I definitely prefer that. A perspective on mindset training. The minute you stop exercising consistently, your fitness level declines, doesn't it? The minute you stop eating clean consistently, your health declines, right? And the minute you stop practicing mindset, everything in your life declines. So the practice of mindset is a continual practice. Don't think you could just do it once and stop. No, we're going to establish routines just like you have a routine with your eating, nutrition, just like you have a routine with your exercise to keep you strong, healthy, and vibrant. We're going to have that type of a routine outlook in our mindset practice. So there's different levels of awareness, and as we go through life, we can, move through these different levels of awareness. We're looking to gain a higher level of awareness, not because we're better than anyone else, but because it's going to give you an edge in life. And if you want those things to, if you want to be successful in how you define success, you have to increase your level of awareness, your consciousness. And if a baseline level of awareness is maybe what most people have. But a super awareness is somebody that does mindset training, meditation training, or just the type of training that allows you to be very aware of your emotional state, and it gives you control to actually change your mental and emotional state on a moment-by-moment basis if you so choose, so that you can be in a state of not just super awareness, but very productive, less anxious, less fearful, less confused and doubtful, be vibrantly alive, be very present with what you're doing and who you're doing it with. So it's just incredible to have that state of super awareness, and that's where we're gonna lead this training to. And a lack of awareness is somebody that maybe is on drugs, alcohol. I've definitely been in that lack of awareness state where you're hurting others, you're hurting yourself. People do things like, cutting, or they turn to, at the worst of the worst, like Coach Anthony had almost done, which is taking your own life, harming others, physical violence, domestic abuse, all those things, the cycle of violence, those are all lack of awareness. And it's like you're sleepwalking. And there's people that are sleepwalking through life, and I was sleepwalking through a lot of my life. So there's no blame here. There's no blame at all. There's nothing wrong or broken with anyone. But, having a new awareness will change everything. And it'll decrease the amount of pain that you have to go through in your life. Most definitely. So why the Way of Life mindset training system was created? To create lasting before and after fitness results that had an effect on the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. So if you want to have that body, that vibrancy, that energy, then this is a program that's definitely for you. Also to give a working life tools skill set to those in training at the Way of Life Bootcamp training programs or in life. You don't have to be in the Way of Life Bootcamp in our training program to use the mindset system. Most definitely not. To empower individuals to become more, to go further, to reach the next level of fitness and in life. And then to create a level of mastery inside oneself so that you may then share this system to help elevate others. And we've actually created a program, a coaching system, where you can go through this system, learn it, and then teach it to others and get paid for it. You can have a full or part-time career getting paid as a mindset performance coach with us here at Way of Life Bootcamp in conjunction with the Mindset Performance Institute. And be part of an amazing network of like-minded people that are always working on bettering themselves, bettering their health, becoming more, becoming better, for the sake of being that lighthouse, like we talked about, helping bring others out of the darkness and changing the world. So if you want to be a part of this, we definitely will have that option available to you. How was the Way of Life Bootcamp mindset training system created? It was greatly influenced by self-development, martial arts, athlete mindset training, and internal development methods. It's been developed through years of in-the-trenches experimentation with proven results. It's built on many proven methods from leaders of fields in behavioral change, counseling, martial arts and yoga masters, Eastern philosophy, Western science, neurology, professional athletes and coaches, psychology, and self-development. So it really does pull from a lot of different resources, the best of the best, really. Are you someone who wants to help others and the world? So you haven't worked on yourself enough to really have the tools to give back. If that's you, then work on yourself now. This is the opportunity for that. Maybe you don't have, so if you're that type of person that wants to help people, in other words, but you don't have maybe enough knowledge, credibility, or status to influence others, because I've been there. I wanted to help my friends. I wanted to help my family. And I didn't have that knowledge. I didn't have that credibility. I didn't have any kind of status to step up and influence other people. And even when I tried, it wouldn't work because I hadn't developed that within myself yet. So maybe you want to help others, but they simply won't change because they don't have a clear path. Well, you know what? You develop a clear path first. Focusing on you will empower you to be able to help others. That's just the way it works. So what is your vision? And I invite you to start really looking at your vision for life in the biggest way possible. Really your biggest possible vision. Don't limit yourself here. So it could be something simple as having a family, like this picture here. Having a family, being able to enjoy a beautiful day. How many people live their lives when they can't even enjoy a beautiful day? So encumbered with stress, anxiety, bills, being unhealthy, sickness, other people that are toxic. What about a vision of vibrancy, a vision of you living the life that you want to live? Start to create a vision that gets you out of bed in the morning, where you kind of like jump out of bed and you're excited to be alive. Because, living a life where you get up and you're like, damn, not another day. Nobody's meant to live like that. Nobody's meant to live like that. And, I lived like that for so many years. And if I can go back and talk to my old self and be able to let myself know, like I'm letting you know now, that something else is possible, it's possible for you to have an amazing vision and an amazing life, right? And you don't even have to believe in yourself yet. Let us believe in you now. Let us believe you to the point where you'll believe in yourself. And I'm excited for you. I really am. Delivery of our training. On the surface level, we give you information. We'll also give you a story that creates understanding. So we'll use stories that we've had of ourselves, our clients, or other people who have been successful. Mindset exercises and life tools. So one of my favorite parts is you being able to integrate and apply these different tools into your life that are just incredible, life-transforming tools. And then development of leaders. So, if you're like me, you learn by teaching. That's not how everyone learns, but I learn a lot by teaching. And so to develop you as a leader, if that's what you choose to do, we would love to help you become empowered to help others. And through the journey of you being transformed, you may get to that point where you naturally just want to help others, just because it's so powerful of a thing. So the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind, this is what eludes everyone. And this is where the secret is at. This is the secret sauce. And so your conscious mind is only 10%, of what's going on. Your subconscious mind is 90%. Your subconscious mind is your habits, your behaviors, your day-to-day actions. That's you. And your conscious mind, although it can be powerful in pointing out a certain direction or setting a goal, it's not going to get you to the goal. And so that's the mistake that people make in their New Year's resolutions is they say, well, I want to lose 30 pounds. Well, you're using your conscious mind to make that decision. Your subconscious mind is the coordinates that you punch into the computer to get you on autopilot to get you there. So we're going to learn how to take the subconscious mind and let it work for us instead of working against us to sabotage us all the time. So this is a great, an informative chart adapted from the book, The Answer. It's a great book by John Assaraf. And so the question is, why don't we ever reach our New Year's resolutions, right? Like I was just talking about, we don't hit our goals. The answer is we think about our goals, we set goals with our conscious mind, but we don't give our subconscious mind the guidance coordinates. It doesn't know how to get there, and it's the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind, that controls 98% of all our behaviors, patterns, and habits. So the speed of impulse, the conscious mind is slow, 120 to 140 miles an hour over the speed of impulse of the subconscious mind, which these can all be measured by scientific instruments now, over 100,000 miles per hour. That's incredibly fast. Bits per second, 2,000 bits per second for the conscious mind versus 400 billion bits of information per second that the subconscious mind can deliver. So it's incredibly powerful supercomputer, your subconscious mind. Control of perception and behavior, 2 to 4%. Conscious mind, the subconscious mind, 96 to 98%. Obviously, if you want to make changes, you got to focus on the subconscious mind. And that's going to be the crux, the turning point, the linchpin, as Brian Grasso sometimes says, is the mindset, to be able to tap into the power of the subconscious mind to get you to establish the habits and not have all the resistance that we sometimes incur when we're trying to get toward a goal. We can remove that resistance. So consider this: 90% of what we now know about the human brain has just been discovered within the last 5 years. So, there's so much new information that we're able to utilize now. So no wonder that society has yet to kind of, catch up to the bandwagon, because, this stuff sometimes remains utilized by a certain few, and until that more and more people start to spread this like we're doing now. So there's so much available to you now. What are you applying in your life now that will unlock the power of your subconscious mind? So what are you doing now? So if you're not doing anything, it's definitely time to start. Also, what are the implications of this type of training to you, to your family, your legacy, your happiness, and your future? What are the implications? What are the possibilities when you start to train in this way? When you start to, untap the power of your mind, your mindset. And, it's just, I'm sure that, you're a very imaginative person. You could think of the different implications that could happen, how you'd feel during the course of a day, for example, how your family would benefit, your legacy, what you'd be able to achieve in your life, your happiness, your future. It really does depend on your mindset that you're creating now. It really does. So what is included in the Way of Life Mindset Training membership? So this is a 6-month transformational program. And so what you get is you get 1 weekly live mindset coaching call with myself and Anthony Steele and any guests that we bring on. And each day we'll be on a live group, or each week we'll be on a live group call together, going over mindset strategies to help you eat, move, and live better today and every day, body, mind, and spirit. So overcoming self-limitations with our breakthrough conversations, and a live Q&A is going to be included with that. Number 2, the Way of Life Mindset Training 6-month transformation course. So you get this whole course that's available to you right away. You get our Way of Life 10-module mindset training course that leads you step by step into creating the mindset you need to get out of your stuckness, to feel confident in yourself again, to stop shrinking away from your life potential and start living to the level you were meant to live, to obtain mental clarity and focus, to get you re-excited about life and the possibilities in you so that you can set and achieve any fitness or life goal you have your heart set on. Number 3, you get the Level 1 Way of Life Mindset Certification course. I'm really excited about this, is because you'll be able to be Level 1 certified through this process. You'll receive training to become certified in the Way of Life Mindset Training Level 1 course. You'll learn the how, the what, the why of Way of Life Mindset Training, and everything you need to know to apply the Way of Life 4 pillars into your fitness training and life right away, so you can achieve mastery in your overall fitness and life. And the 4 pillars is something that you'll learn later on, which are key foundational pillars that will help with your mindset training development that you have to kind of have in place to achieve that level of mindset mastery in yourself. And level 1 of the course will give you the opportunity to become a mindset certification level 1 mindset specialist. Level 2 will, and you'll be able to have an option to do that later, is that will actually teach you how to apply it, actually become a Way of Life mindset certified coach. And you'll be able to help others. You'll be able to have your own coaching practice. You'll be able to set yourself apart in the industry, a fast-growing industry, a multi-billion-dollar self-development life coaching industry, one of the fastest-growing industries on the planet, serving people in fitness, finance, law enforcement, you name it, any subgroup and category you can ever imagine, you can help. Okay. So that's a possibility in your future if you want to go with that. Number 4, the Way of Life Mindset Training Daily Rituals. And these are powerful daily rituals, and this is the daily practice you'll be using to stop talking about mindset training and actually applying it to your life. So this will be like that inner power workout, that inner strength workout that you're going to bring yourself through. It's only going to take anywhere between 10 minutes to 30 minutes, hardly any time at all. You can make time for that. Because knowledge is not enough. The Way of Life Mindset Training Daily Ritual is your daily practice that will transform your mindset to better serve you in your body transformation and in your life. And then number 5, the Way of Life Mindset Training Community. You'll have access to our entire online community forum, a private Facebook community to share your successes, stay motivated, have access to our team of coaches 24/7 who can help you break through the subconscious patterns that are holding you back and finally start living the happier and healthier lifestyle that we all know starts in the mind. And the amazing and supportive community inside the Way of Life Mindset Training membership is really the lifeblood that makes the training renewed each day, where we all stay connected as a group. So it's just amazing, the people that you're going to meet. You know, one of the great sayings that I heard before that I find rings very true is that the way you change year to year, the biggest way you change is the people that you meet and the books that you read. And I think that is very true. I can think about the people that I've met over the course of the years that have so drastically changed my life, and the books too. So remember, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. We're very excited to have you join us. This is it. This is your time, and the time is now. So the Way of Life membership is here. So all you have to do is click on the button and you're in. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a few. Oh, unlocking the possibilities. You might be asking, I almost forgot about this one. Where can I take this training? The answer is anywhere. Use it for you. It'll unlock the potential within you to create that lasting change, like we said. Use it for your family and friends and create a career out of it if you so choose. Way of Life Mindset Training Coaches Certification is coming this summer. You can help others alongside of your current career. You can do this. You can have a scalable business model with reliable recurring revenues. It's just incredible, the opportunity that's in front of you. So like I said, we'll see you on the inside. My name's Forrest Folan. Thanks again for listening.